Everyone always wants to know what we have in our portfolio and what we are doing. And while we recently revealed our whole portfolio, we made some updates to it that I wanted to tell you about, along with revealing some upcoming prospects that we're using to beef up our crypto holdings. Let's get it. BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the largest crypto channel in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money and crypto, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the likes if you enjoy these types of videos where I give you my personal strategies for stacking giant crypto gains. And today, we're going to be showing you guys some changes that we made to our portfolio. Now, if you missed our last video where we showed almost our entire crypto portfolio, then you can click above to watch it. And why do I say almost our entire crypto portfolio? Well, because I mentioned to you that a lot of our private sales were still floating around out there, and we still have a lot floating out there still to come in. So our overall portfolio right now is actually bigger than it shows. But unlike other folks that make clickbait thumbnails and titles talking about how they're going to show you their portfolios and then they just show you some random coins they invested in, we give you the real numbers here because we don't have anything to hide and we want you to know the truth. And I have to admit, it has been a great month for us. We made some killer moves in our portfolio this month that have definitely paid off big time. I'll be going over several of the moves we made, and I gotta thank the Bit Squad because some of them were due to your comments on our last portfolio video. So first, we have several new coins we've added, and some we're quite excited about. One of those projects is Occam Finance. This is one we have been invested in for a while, but our first allocation finally came in. It's a Cardano Launchpad project that we're super excited to have invested in early. Now, it's had a rough 24 hours, as you can see here on the image, but overall, this is one we're extremely bullish on. We sold 0 tokens from the sale, so that should tell you something. Cardano Launchpads are going to help build the ADA ecosystem, and that's super bullish for all of crypto. Another launchpad we're super thrilled to be invested in and working with is CardStarter. Cards is another launchpad project on Cardano that we believe will crush it. Now, I spoke directly with the team, and they have so many Cardano projects wanting to work with them that they're having to turn legit projects down left and right. When the demand is higher than the supply, then, well, you know what tends to happen there. Now, one project that we added to our portfolio solely thanks to the Bit Squad was Harmony. You guys stayed on me so much, and I told you a few weeks ago we were going to add it, and we did in fact do that. I had some problems with the exchange that we used, so it took a while longer than I wanted, but we ended up making it happen. So I'm proud to say that we now have over 1 million Harmony tokens, and right now sitting about $140,000. Now, I'm really bullish on Harmony, and I think a run up to over 30 cents in the midterm is in the cards. And I think it can definitely get over $1 by the end of this bull run. Another project we added that we're excited about is Mochi Market with the ticker MOMA or MOMA. We discussed this one a while back on a live stream, but we got 100,000 MOMA tokens. As you can see, it is already paying off as it's up 18% today alone. Mochi Market solves a lot of the problems from the NFT marketplaces, including high costs, lack of ways to monetize rare NFTs, lack of liquidity, and lack of cross-chain interoperability between NFT platforms. This is one that we are keeping our eye on for sure. So let's get into some changes to our portfolio, which many of you guys helped out with. One of the biggest criticisms that we had on our last portfolio video was that people thought it wasn't smart of me to be so bullish on VeChain and not hold that much. My reasoning for this was that for me, it makes more sense to have smaller holdings in the projects you think have the highest potential, because you don't need as much invested in them to make a large amount. But after reading all the comments, I think it's pretty clear that for super small speculative projects down outside the top 200 to 300 coins, that works. That's probably the best strategy. But for larger cap coins with high potential, I admit I made a mistake. I see the errors of my ways. Well, we fixed that. VeChain is now our number 6 overall holding. We have almost $500,000 worth. Hasn't hurt, the VeChain has been ripping. ever since we bought it. More on that a little bit later. I'm as bullish on VeChain as ever, and I firmly believe it will get over $1 by the end of this bull run, if not higher. We also have another huge shift in our portfolio due to the BitSquad. We had like one Binance coin in our portfolio. I've honestly never been so ashamed. But honestly, it's kind of like this. When you see a coin like BNB absolutely ripping it up, you start to feel like you missed the entry, and there will never be a good one again. I remember when it was $5. But you don't want to FOMO in. However, at some point you realize that you aren't being emotional and wanting to get in a coin that's ripped for months. You just want exposure. So that's what we did. We added almost $500,000 worth of Binance coin, and it is now our number 5 overall holding. And I think I want to end up with maybe 2,000 BNB, and this is the one I'm piling more money into as we speak. Now, I believe the prospects for BNB have been bolstered certainly by the latest tokenized stock offerings that they added, combined with the attention the Coinbase IPO has gotten. Remember, Binance dwarfs Coinbase. So if you think Coinbase is on the right track, then you definitely want exposure to BNB, the coin of the biggest crypto exchange on the planet. And it's a heck of a lot easier to buy BNB than Coinbase on the stock market. Now, we had another massive change I wanted to go over with you. While Polkadot already was our number 4 crypto holding, we beefed it up big time, now owning almost 39,000 DOT tokens. The thing is, I just believe DOT is ready to explode fairly shortly. It's based upon the cyclical altcoin shifts. We've seen DOT as high as number 3 on CoinMarketCap, and now it's near the bottom of the top 10, coming at number 8. Now, of course, the Dogecoin pump came out of nowhere, so that's a new entrant to the upper echelon of coins. DOT, though, will look to prove its superiority over Doge in the short term and the long term. Fully expect Polkadot to have a move soon, and that's why I went ahead and loaded up my portfolio with it before it happens. We also finally met our Bitcoin goal over the last month. Our goal was to have 100 Bitcoin, which seemed like a daunting task we could never get to. But by making smart moves in our portfolio, we were able to achieve that goal, stacking those Satoshis. Now, for a long time, I told you guys that holding a lot of Bitcoin in your portfolio wasn't a great move, honestly. Why? Because I know where most of you are at. The same place I was at, even as late as early 2020. You not maximized your portfolio. You were on the climb up. Now, you use altcoins to stack up more Bitcoin, now more Ethereum, and now maybe even more DOT, BNB, and Cardano. These are long-term holds. But I achieved those goals, and it was time to start stacking up Bitcoin as a hedge against the rest of my portfolio and net worth. Now, we wanted to get Bitcoin, and we got it. We can rest easy now. Lastly, another project we added a lot more to is Solana. This project absolutely crushed it the last few weeks, and we beefed up our Solana holdings at the beginning of the month, just as I told you we would on our top coins of April video. Man, that is turning out to be a bunch of winners in that video. We now hold almost 8,000 Solana and may be looking to add more soon. But if we're going to add more, I definitely want to wait for a retracement. But we got in just at the right time because we were able to get in before it absolutely mooned. And now, the 3 most profitable coins all time in my entire portfolio: Cardano, VeChain, and Solana. Pretty interesting stuff. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, one reason our portfolio has skyrocketed has been due to many of the projects we invested in early through private sales, seed rounds, and launch pads. While I'm well aware those opportunities are not available to most new investors, the launch pads are. Ferrum Network, Polkastarter, CardStarter, and Occam Finance are all huge reasons why we are getting big gains. And the projects that launch on those platforms all are available to the token holders, including the big SoMe governance token launch coming soon to CardStarter. But many of these projects still have great prospects after launch. Now, 2 of the projects we invested in early that we believe still have potential are More, M-O-A-R, and Stater. More Finance just launched on Uniswap. I'm going to go ahead and drop the pair address on Uniswap down below in the video description because it's actually kind of hard to find. I want to make sure you guys have the right one. Now, if you know one thing about how I feel about the future of investing, is bringing the power of derivatives to normal everyday folks. It's a quadrillion-dollar market. The derivatives market is how the rich have been getting richer for decades. More Finance helps to unlock this market by bringing interchain liquidity to the derivatives market. It's one we're definitely watching. Lastly, another one we have discussed before that I invested in early is Stader. It's along the lines of Mochi Markets. It's basically another NFT solutions provider, but this one is specifically for peer-to-peer lending for NFT assets. That's right. You can actually use NFT assets as collateral for borrowing in a peer-to-peer marketplace. You can get loans for as low as 0.2 ETH with interest rates from 7.9% APR. Now, as you can see on the chart, Stader has followed a pretty similar path to most of our early investments. They have a pop right out of the gate and then slowly drop due to selling pressure. Remember, get good entry points. But eventually, they hit that point of accumulation, and that's the money spot. Stader could be at that accumulation phase before a big move. Now, we saw a similar thing with Eternity, which, by the way, we've added to our position. Many people keep asking about Eternity and why it's dropped. Well, it's because of selling pressure from early investors. They pushed the price down by selling. Meanwhile, we're adding to our position. That should tell you what we think long-term for Eternity and many of these early projects we've invested in. But let me know what you think about the changes that we made to our portfolio this month. Are there any other coins you would like to see us add? Make sure to drop those comments down below. That's all I got. Be blessed. Way out.